All right. Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, November 10th, 2025, 4:30 PM. I will call this meeting of the Board of Harbor Commissioners for the town of LaPointe to order. With us this evening, we have Joseph Wiltz. Here. Susan Widmar.
Here.
Michael Collins.
Here.
Myself. Glenn Carlson.
Here.
And Mary Ross.
Here.
Absent Evan Erickson. Staff present, we have Katie Kisner. And we have Cal Linehan via Zoom. First up on the agenda is public comment. Take it away.
I'm not certain, but judging on my brother's entire ending in Packer game tonight, so I'd like to just say go pack up. I also like to think that we're having a meeting here at 4:30 instead of 10.
Any other public comment? If not, let's move on to the minutes of October 23rd.
I move that we accept the minutes of 10/23.
Second.
There's no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, Chief Administrative Officer report.
I have the current balance of the Harbor Commission bank accounts. This was as of Friday morning, November 7th. The Miffle utility checking account was at $263,006.29. Since our last meeting, we made two different transfers. The first one was for the, so that we had the half funds in the checking account to pay the Yahoo change order. And then the next transfer was just kind of idle funds to that money market account. October revenue, was $554,691.96. This does not include all of parcel hauling, but just that amount put us at 110% of the budgeted income for the month of October. November revenue, and this was as of Friday morning on the 7th, we were just over 34,000, which is just under 18% of the budgeted income for the month. After our last meeting, Miffle Management, Rob and Cal, and then Rich and myself met with Erica, just to kind of review and go over the HAP ramp project. I think the meeting went very well. Erica is very optimistic, just about future funds, and I'm still waiting to set up a meeting with her, and there's two other of her coworkers that she would like to meet with as well to discuss the ferry program funds. Just to go over more details of that, the amount, kind of when we should expect it. She's hoping to have all of that set up before Thanksgiving.
Bless her. That's good.
Just an update on the PBA meeting in Buffalo. Very informative. Once again, I think that it's an excellent program to be a part of, essentially for networking. I 100% see both Robin and Cal's different roles at that meeting. My only recommendation is that maybe for ones that are slightly more expensive and a little bit further away, maybe not as many Miffle members are very necessary to go to that one. I think their discussion of the one next year is in Chicago, so that one would be a little bit closer and probably easier to get to. But that would definitely be my one recommendation, but I think that it's an excellent organization to be a part of. And then Cal did send me just kind of a brief update of the planned travel for Miffle for the next couple months. If you plan to attend the workboat show in December. December 3rd through 5th, that's Orland. I'm happy to request any more additional details about that, that's the Harbor Commission flight. I think last year Cal gave us kind of a great overall report once they returned. About the different presentations and things like that, which I think that went through this. Request that again, I appreciated them providing that. And then the other one is in February. That is going to be essentially the national PVA meeting. Which Cal had stated that, it's at this one that. A lot more of like grant opportunities are discussed. I will not be able to go in February, but we are still allotting travel in the Harbor Commission budget as of right now. And we did bring up and discuss with Rich about the potential of him joining for that. Rich said that he's 100% on board doing that. I think that would be a great opportunity to network and also find out any potential grants, yes.
Robin, do you know when the agenda for PVA Maritrans comes out?
They have a summary on their website right
Already?
now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still working on it. They wait till the regional to go. I think there's at least one more regional to go.
Yeah, it's like an overall summary that's on there right now, which I've already sent to Rich, just so he can have an idea of kind of what goes on.
Where is it?
Where is it? It's in Covington, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
And you get a discount on your registration fee if you send it in before the December 31st. So, Rich you might have to think about that for Rich.
Who's going from Miffle?
I don't know. I'm sure Cal would go, but we haven't discussed that yet.
Just throwing it out there as a recommendation for Rich to join for that one, and he is eager and completely on board with that.
And the topic is gonna be centered around grants or a lot of it.
Not necessarily the whole thing, but Cal says that at this particular, because I've only been to the regional ones now twice in the fall. It's more so at the national ones that a lot more of the grant opportunities are discussed.
Would be perfect.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Cal, go ahead.
And just, can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah, and just on that note, not only are they discussed more, but the key point is that the grant administrators, typically on behalf of the EPA or whatever organization that is offering the grant, are there. And so that's like the best way to kind of get, your face known to them and, sort of tell them your story and get them familiar. Most people aren't going to be like Erica and, come up and see us because they're kind of on that federal level. So this is one of those just key opportunities to kind of present yourself and be known to them. But of the whole seminar, there's only a handful of specific classes or lessons on these grants, but those people they've always been there, and they'll always meet up with you and talk to you about the grants and how to apply and, give you tips.
Great. Thank you.
I mean, I think we need to put this on the next agenda to approve Rich going, or what's our protocol on that?
I mean, that's what we did for my travel. It was just kind of more last minute, as it all was last minute. So
I think as we develop the travel plan for now, if we could just go with some kind of verbal approval, it'd be good.
And we have until the end of December to
Yeah.
register early. I would say maybe you could work with Rich and fill out a travel voucher and we could approve it, or.
Yeah.
Anything else, Katie?
that was it for my.
I will move then that we place the Chief Administrative Officer report on file.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, Harbor Assistant Program Project updates.
Okay, so on that, there's not a lot going on right now. I think the biggest thing that we have is the item number 8 tonight. So I can wait to talk more about that when we get there. But as of right now, everything's the bills are sent out. They have received them. So we're just waiting to see if number 8 is approved. We're going to send out number 8 and have them take that payment. And then once we have the change order for Cooper, we'll submit that with the complete cost of Yankee, and we'll ask for one large reimbursement. So that's essentially what we're waiting on right now. And so as of right now, kind of talking with Katie and creating a timeline of what that would look like, it would likely be that we ask for that large reimbursement within the next week, maybe 2. And then from there, we don't know how long it's going to take to get back. But again, we've gotten through that once successfully, so the system should be a little bit more streamlined. After that, then, depending on how item number 8 goes, the only thing we have left to do is the dredging and the piling, and we're planning on that in spring. Confirmed everything with Erica, no hiccups there. Sending out the October report to them. I'll CC Katie on that. Make sure you guys have a copy of the October HAP report. But outside of that, that's kind of where we're at. I've done multiple passes with my boat in the harbors, and I've created a chart, a digital chart. And from that, I'm not really seeing, and I don't know if I reported on this one or the last one, so I'll keep it brief, but I'm not really seeing a lot of really shallow areas. I'm seeing one area in particular where the Island Queen is currently tied up in Bayfield. That's the major concern location. We tie up the Madeline there for winter, and it is incredibly shallow in there. Outside of that, there's only a few other areas that have, concerning depths, but it's actually less than what we were originally planning. So it's likely that, when we do the dredging, that the estimates that we provided to the HAP program, we're going to be under that, and probably significantly would be my take at this point. But again, because we're getting an 80-20 match, we're going to make sure to utilize dredging as much as we possibly can, so we don't have to get into emergency dredging situation in the future where we have to pay 100% of it. So that's kind of where we're at, but we're moving very slow and systematically, and I can talk more when we get to number 8 or however you'd like to handle that.
Al, what's with the chart you've created in terms of where low spots are, high spots are, blah, 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 what needs to be dredged? Have you come up with like a total yardage? I mean, is it that fine tuned as to how much needs to be dredged?
I haven't as of yet. So I've created some areas. That's something that I wanted to work with Cooper Engineering on ultimately, to make sure that, their logic, they have a lot more experience in coming up with a total yardage, as did Arnie. So I have a, kind of a ballpark, but I really don't, nothing very accurate that I'd like to share. I could tell you from what we were originally planning, the amount of areas that we were going to have to remove and the amount of material that we were going to have to remove. I'm currently guessing we're at half to a quarter of the original scope.
So there was an estimate put in with the HAP?
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And those were based off of the Army Corps of Engineer soundings that we had from now, I think, 2 years ago. So, the soundings that I took, we verified accuracy, using a measuring tape, to sound the bottoms in various locations. And then it was a scanner that then creates a 3D chart. And so using that, there wasn't really many areas of great concern. So, again, the original estimates were based off of, because none of our boats have depth finders on them. So it was just based off of like, oh, it looks shallow over there. and here's what the Army Corps of Engineer sounding say. So that's what we based everything off of. But before we, pay money, ultimately we should have something more accurate. That's why I went out and double checked everything. Does that make sense? Okay.
Anything else or updates? Thank you, Cal. Let's move on then to agenda item number 7. Consider 2025 tariff amendments.
I'll move that we approve the amendments as listed on the page of Harbor Commission policy for gratis and reduced ferry transportation for individuals, groups, or special.
I'll second with a question. Yeah, it's right off, almost at the bottom. The Harbor Commission provides reduced transportation for the following. I think it's a reduced transportation cost or fee or. Not reduced transportation.
Got it.
Do we want a new motion to approve as amended?
Well, it's been submitted already. So
First and second?
I think, maybe the Railroad Commission will catch it. Maybe they won't.
Maybe they will.
I'll take note of it for when we submit the next one.
Thank you.
I will call the vote then. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, number 8, consider Cooper Engineering change order proposal.
So I can start, I guess, if there's any questions on it. If anybody had anything right off the bat, the quick overlay is that we're requesting a change order with Cooper Engineering for them to get the permits and submit the request for bids, create the language, the scope of work for the piling and the dredging, which would also include, the engineering, limited engineering for driving the piling. So that's what this change order is requesting.
Who originally was gonna do it?
Well, originally this was going to be something that we could put out to bid and have another contractor do it. We could just start over and put this portion out to bid, much like we did. So I would have done probably the bulk of this process again myself, and minus the engineering. I would have put out, we need to get, these sort of things put together and organized, put in your bid to organize them for us. Then, the contractors would have came in and, could have been Arnie or Cooper or another engineering firm or a dredging firm, and they could have gathered this information for us. And then we would have taken that information and then put that out to bid again, then to allow the actual dredging companies to bid on the project. So this just sort of skips a step, streamlines it.
I'll move that we approve the Cooper Engineering change order proposal.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, review draft letter to Mayor Bayfield.
This is to address the question about the
I've read it. I think it's a good response. I think it looks good.
I do too, and I like the fact that it goes to especially in the last paragraph, saying, well, we're not necessarily, we agree with the outcome that the Attorney Burrs had given. Nonetheless, like to have, we want to be good neighbors and support these expenses. I think that leaves it wide open for a constructive meeting, which is the next sentence. I think it's a good letter, quick.
Well, I would make a motion that we send that letter to the mayor of Bayfield.
Second. We get this on,
Yeah, I'm gonna send that out as soon as possible, because, Robin, quick question, has Miffle received any additional letters from Bayfield?
No.
Evan had mentioned that there was a vote for sending an additional fine for not having paid the $2 head tax, so I will get this letter out as soon as possible.
oh, second on
Okay.
We need a vote. We make a motion.
All in favor?
it.
Aye. Opposed? Carries. And item 10, review draft letter to Bayfield School District.
Who are we planning to have sign it?
I suppose I could sign it as, or Katie could, honestly.
The request was that the Harbor Commission send this letter to the school.
So
In what capacity?
President Octane, maybe?
Happy to sign it.
and he can decide whether he wants to say Dear Beth or Dear Administrator Pat or whatever.
Okay.
I leave that to you, but if it's somebody that she knows, it's probably okay to have it more personal. Did we move to something?
We have not voted yet.
I move that we send that letter to
I'll second then. If there's no discussion further, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 11, consider Bayfield top end repair quotes.
So this was a regularly scheduled item. It is regular maintenance. Currently, there isn't a problem with the top end or anything that would lead us to believe that. So this is just sort of a routine thing. One of the key components of this is that it is not in the normal maintenance manual from John Deere for these engines. This is coming from our own recommendation, having rebuilt and dealt with these engines for combined almost 50,000 hours now. We did this on the LaPointe last year, and it did lead to us catching some potentially very serious problems that had yet to happen. So right there, it was a very good thing to have done, even though ultimately the report from that repair showed that everything was in really good condition. The objective of it is to ensure that the engines are healthy, sort of at their halfway point in their life, to refresh the top end, which will hopefully lengthen the overall life of the engines. But this came about specifically after the engines that used to be in this boat failed pretty significantly at about 18,000 hours. And we're at about 13,000 right now. So, we've got by the last engine, we'd have about 2 years left. We're hoping with this top end rebuild and, our changes in maintenance schedules, ultimately that we'll end up being able to get closer to 30,000 hours. That is our goal. So that's why we're considering this a, kind of a midlife refresh. We have gone through their proposal and tried to get, cost savings wherever we could to bring this cost down. But this is about what I was expecting. Originally, I believe I had around 80,000 budgeted or suggested for a budget for this. So we're, I believe, in that ballpark, but that's what we're looking at.
I will make a motion that we approve the top end. It's Interstate Power Systems as the
Correct. Yep. Interstate Power Systems.
Second.
So,
Is this in the 2025 budget? Is it in the maintenance budget?
It is listed on the 2025 capital projects list that we've had. And Cal had 85,000 in there for this.
Got it.
did I get the vote out on that one?
We didn't vote, but we motioned.
All in favor then?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, discussion regarding memorial wheel.
I've talked to Robin about this and doing something at the herring shed with the Island Queens wheel. I know there were a couple of people I mentioned to Zach that were interested in working with Robin on that. I think Michael Collins and I think Michael Childers was also interested. I don't know if anyone else was, but sort of to have an appropriate memorial, but also history of the ferry line, which we have a pretty good history in there already, but I think this would be a nice addition to it.
So memorial specifically for Gary Russell or any
Well, I think
history of the ferry line?
Yeah, I think acknowledging that, you know, Gary was the last in the line of Russells owning the ferry line, privately owned for over, you know, close to 100 years, perhaps. And so, as you know, he got the town Hall of Fame recognition last year, and so I think that would be appropriate to include over there with that. And yeah, that's as much design information as I can give you because that's not my.
The wheel looks great.
It does. Mary wasn't on the board at that time, but we had removed the wheel and we were gonna gift it to Gary.
Yep.
And then he passed and then it's kind of been sitting there ever since.
I do have a photo.
Calvin.
And I'd just like to throw out there that MIFL or myself would be willing to cover any costs associated with creating the memorial.
Very generous, thank you.
Thank you. Do we need a?
I don't think we need it.
It's in the works.
Just request an update shortly in the near future.
I mean, is the hope to get this up by next summer or
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Oh, yeah.
Discussion on Middle Road property buildings.
I asked that be put on the agenda just to keep it on our radar. It is something that I think we need to address sooner than later. That Quonset hut is basically the side away from the road has basically collapsed. People have said the garage, they don't know what's really holding it up.
What if we assigned, is Evan Junior on?
No,
Well, maybe we could ask him to look into getting bids for demo.
the town could demo it,
Okay,
I would think.
great.
Hadn't there though been talk of
A burn?
the practice burn or?
Yeah, the problem is those have become so restrictive and hard to do. Like there's no guarantee that even if we go through all the steps, like at some point, the DNR or some other entity could say, no, you can't do it. So there is a lot of red tape.
Time to get on.
It sounds like the Brennas still have stuff in the Quonset hut, so maybe the first step would be sending them a letter to ask that.
I'll talk to Tyler again too about where he's at with WITC and furthering that process, but
Sure.
I know it had kind of stalled out.
And I, in that letter to the Brennas, I would give them a deadline. You know, like December 15th or, well, that's
I
not a
think that's a
month.
good idea.
Maybe by the end of the year. I don't know. Snow's gonna start.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I would even give them till, you know, next June.
Maybe.
You know, because it's going to be hard for them right now to get anything before, and then we're into the winter.
There's a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, so I think give them, you know, let's give them 6, 8 months, if we can have this dealt with next summer sometime and, get their stuff out and then figure out demolition.
But then the town crew is gonna be busy.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to demolish it right away. I mean, I'm thinking let's get this thing addressed. And that's, nothing urgent. It's been like that for many years. I think we can.
Is the garage empty?
I was just gonna ask Cal if he knows what's in there as far as.
No.
Garage.
We've been utilizing the garage and we continue to utilize the garage for storage. So I'm sure it's something we could empty out in rather short order. We're currently keeping quite a few pieces of equipment in there.
What's your take on the condition of that garage? It doesn't look bad driving by, but I've never been in there.
So I had one of our staff inspect it, and what I was told of the garage is that, and I can get this triple checked here because it was a couple of months ago, but I was told that it should be torn down.
So if we can just take the first step and run us, what they're asking them to have it.
Does Miffle want to do that or does Katie want to do that?
Send it to our commission, I think.
Okay.
Robin, do you have all of their contact information by chance?
For Brent? Yeah, they're on our phone list.
You can get Sue's mailing address.
Yeah, she's on the town board. Anything else there? Move on then to the 2026 budget updates.
It's going to the bottom. What, 340?
Yeah, so essentially what's provided here is just kind of our totals. Next step is to start breaking it down month by month. This is what we've gotten to with our last meeting that was on Friday. And our next steps moving forward is essentially looking at basically what we've brought in this year versus what we've spent. Is there going to be any additional funds that are carried over into next year?
We haven't approved this budget. The budget committee hasn't.
No,
No, this is just an update as to where we're at. This is where we're at as of Friday, this meeting.
And we did talk about, I think at the Friday meeting, of not having a need to ask the property taxpayers
Right,
to
yes.
pick up any of the,
That's a goal. I mean, it's always been that way.
so, and I think our thinking was that between potentially a small increase in the tariff. We had a big increase last year, but potentially a small increase in the tariff, and we might have generated net income for the year after all of the debt service and capital. And so if we have something that can carry over, that's kind of how the town operates its budget, which we won't know for a
That's
little while.
working on that.
Yeah.
You ready to move on to approval of bills? I will move that we pay that we reimburse for the amount of $225,394.61.
Second,
And so that's not all to Miffle, but that is the total amount for all of the bills.
Okay,
some goes to Yankee for the,
I think Brianna is on the next page.
Yeah.
There's the change order. So that we approve the bills in the amount of,
That's it.
was there a second?
I did.
There's no discussion beyond the correction. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Future agenda items?
a couple of months ago, we got a letter from a woman on the White Earth Reservation, I believe, the Native American, asking about reduced fare. Did we ever reply to her?
I did reply to her and I let her know that that would be brought up in our tariff discussions once we start those here.
Got it. Sue.
The only thing that I have from that is a travel form for Rich, just basic travel.
Will the budget discussion at our next meeting be appropriate for the agenda? I mean, will it be expected developments or? I put it
I
on,
would like to think so.
okay, so I would put that on the agenda.
When do we want to meet?
When has the public hearing and special town meeting for the budget been set?
Yeah, I think it's, and I'm not 100% certain, but I think it's is it the second or the fourth?
It's the fourth.
The fourth,
December?
fourth of December. Is that a Thursday?
I will say I'm getting, Nichols October expenses this week.
20th, week from Thursday?
Sure.
It
would be a morning meeting.
Yes.
We have choir.
Yeah. 9:30 the 20th. Aye.
Yeah.
Hour again?
9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Do we want to talk about when we're going to have the public meeting? Should I dial that in?
Yeah, that's a good idea. When had we discussed, Mary, you had kind of refined it.
Kind of the first 2 weeks of December, sometime in the week of December 1st, which is a Monday, or the week.
For the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we want to set a date now and then we can get something out by the next meeting maybe? So that people have some time to plan to come if they want to. So what date do you think, Mayor?
Well, I think we should shoot for the second week, just because the budget meeting is the 4th for the town.
I would also request it be that second week, just to give a little bit more time for any website stuff that we're trying to put together.
So would you want to stick to a Thursday, like do it the 11th of December?
That, if we're talking in the afternoon, that's not gonna work, because 3 of us will have choir practice.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Which nights of the week do you?
Thursdays only,
How about
Why don't we do
Wednesday
it?
the 10th?
Oh, sure.
but that's gonna conflict with Jay. He's
Oh,
gonna,
yeah.
or fire something.
Monday evening.
Monday the 8th.
Yeah, because Tuesday you'll have a board meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday.
Monday the 8th.
It works for me. I'm just gonna double check the calendar.
Okay, Monday, the 8th at 4:30, if it fits the calendar. Public meeting. And Michael, were you gonna work on a statement from the Board of State of Affairs or State of the Union?
It's open, so.
Okay.
Was that,
Yeah.
is that what you said you were gonna do last time, or am I throwing that? I don't remember.
Yeah, might have been a hallucination.
I invented that. Do you want, I mean, you're the communications guy. Do you feel comfortable doing that? We
Yeah, with it.
With it.
Much.
Yeah, we'll talk about it at the next meeting.
Good. I will.
Right. I will once again open the floor to public comment. Go ahead, Cal.
Just with this time of the year, now that we're into November and November 10th of all days, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of make the Harbor Commission here aware that, we're going to be getting into worse weather, more cancellations, delayed trips, those sort of events. So to help with that, something that I'm hoping to have done here within a week, we're just wrapping it up. We're compiling the statistics going back since I believe almost to 2010 of all of the trips that we've canceled and how much notice we've given and what time of year that they've been canceled, to just sort of give a statistical approach and say, you're most likely to experience X amount of cancellations or delays during this time of the year. And then also with that, a write-up, and this will be something I'd like to share with all of the public. We'll post it on the boat, try and get it out to everybody on the island, and contractors, is just sort of a write-up on how do we come to the decisions of canceling, what are the factors, why, if it's one condition is canceled this time, but the next time it isn't, to help give the public kind of a better understanding of what's going on behind those decisions, as we recognize, a canceled trip or a delayed trip often has pretty intense consequences for people trying to maintain jobs or have doctor's appointments. So hopefully that could be of benefit to the community.
I think it's
I
great.
think that's great. Great idea, Cal.
Thank you.
Like a voter's almanac. Anyone else? Public comment? Next up then is review of the Miffle management contract. I will move that we go into closed session. The state statute 19.85, paren 1, paren E, for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing in public funds, or conducting other specified public business.
I'll second.
The roll call vote, Jay Lutz,
Robin, before you go, I have a question.
Susan,
Yes.
Michael. I am an I, Mike. Yes, Glenn.
Yes. The Hunter's Feast.
Yeah.
Posted something on Facebook about the $240 mag card, which has been done forever.
Yeah.
Did they approach Miffle LLC about it?
I heard something about the 100 feet, but I think it had to do with the wrap things today.